Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world. I hope you are all well and have had a fantastic weekend. And we're back Monday morning. Here we are again, guys. Just a bit of news. If you don't know already, Spurs Corner. The boys and I will be back streaming together as of this Wednesday evening. Spurs Corner. It's the new name of our new channel, guys. Head over. There's a YouTube channel already up there. If you haven't subscribed, head over there to subscribe and activate the bell so you will know when we'll go live. So absolutely keep your ears peeled for that. We will be going live this Wednesday evening. Welcome to IGYS Corner. This is my little corner. Where I'll be talking, guys. I'll be talking. Of course, Tottenham will be involved in the conversations that I have in videos here, but it'll be a bit more like elaborative in a sense of we'll be talking about other Premiership teams, Premiership games that I watch. I'll be reacting to those like I did in yesterday's game, Liverpool Man United. You may have seen it with my boy Joe, who's a Liverpool fan. And my little one, Pan, is a Spurs fan. So we get to see different angles of different teams. And, of course, I'll be covering a bit of Serie and I'll be getting into that as well. Some interesting news coming out of Napoli as well. But let's start in order. One of the things I want to speak about is the goal disallowed from the Van Dijk yesterday. It was brought up that yesterday that Liverpool had a similar goal against Wolves ruled out previously, and exactly the same thing, carbon copy, happened yesterday. Now, in my opinion, guys, and I know what the rules stipulate, and I get all of that. It does, you know, it's clear. I didn't think Robertson blocked Donnarumma's view of that ball going in. Yes, he was standing in offside position, but he didn't become an issue for Donnarumma's view. Now, if it had become an issue where it blinded the keeper's view and the ball goes in the back of the net, absolutely right to rule it out. But in this case, upon seeing it on VAR, and I had a look at it a couple of times, I just think the keeper reacted really late to the header, and in no way did I feel that Robertson it impacted on the view of Donnarumma. So I don't know. I thought it was harshly done, but then, you know, if we don't go by the rules, I suppose if we don't go by the rules, then we go by interpretation, and you know, it's either do we apply the rule or do we don't. Let me know your views, guys, in that instance. Would you have given Van Dijk the goal, or should it have been given, or should it not? Because there's no two ways about it. It had an impact in the game, because at that point, it's 1-1. And only a few minutes later, Liverpool go 2-0 down. Listen, Man City may have gone on to win the game regardless, given the way that Liverpool were also playing. But in that moment, it would have been 1-1. I don't know, it might have been a different game, at least for the following 10, 15, 20 minutes. Let me know your thoughts on that. Spurs Man United, guys. I know I didn't get to react to it for the reasons you guys, reasons you guys know regarding my channel or the previous one before this one. What can I say? It wasn't a great game in the first half. It didn't liven up in the second half. The only thing I can say to that, guys, and we will probably, on Wednesday night, we'll probably get into it a little bit more. It's just gutting that having taken a 2-1 with only a few minutes to go, we're talking, 3 minets? We should have closed the game. Once we was literally moments away of losing the game. We take a lead. We equalise with Mattis Tell. And then only a few moments later, Richarlison bangs in what looks like the winning goal. And with a minute before the end to concede, it was truly, truly painful to see that. It's such a shame, because I think 3 points would have done us well, especially at home where we have been struggling to get a win. But all said and been done, I've got to be honest. I have to be honest and say that in all, given what both teams offered, I think the draw was the right result. Wasn't the one that we needed, but it was the right result. Guys, so Serie A now. Moving on from the Premier League to Serie A. My. Conte has put in a massive press conference post the Napoli game. Napoli, of course, losing 2-0 to Bologna. And in a scathing attack of his players, he's literally said along the lines that I don't want to be working with the dead, sort of thing. Issuing a scathing attack on, I don't know who exactly in the team, but it's an issue. And now on an international break, go and have a look online. You can have a look at his attack on the team, really, along the lines of he doesn't want to be working with the dead, and meaning that it's really putting the club in a position where they need to really have a meeting with Conte to decide if there are the conditions still available for the two to keep working together. I don't know, because he's been moaning a little bit the last couple of games, and the team's not responding, guys. They lost a massive Champions League defeat 6-2. They lost a game where Bologna are a good side, but they had dropped points against Como, not playing well. And yesterday they only had one shot on goal, and they conceded to. But what was worse was their performance. The team looked really lethargic, and given in mind that Bologna played on Thursday night, it was really poor showing of Napoli, and the fans were not happy at the end of the game, not only with the performance but also with his work, with what he had to say at the end of the game. At the end of the day, the manager's there to get the team going, and if they're not getting going, you need to look at yourself. You can't just put it all on the team. I don't know, guys. I got a feeling, and I've seen this be happening before, this to me is the beginning of the end. And within an international break, couple of weeks, I've got a feeling Napoli might pull the plug in the next day or two. We shall see. One to watch. On other results, guys, Milan drew 2-2 against Parma. Drop points there for Milan, having taken a 2-0 lead. Juventus drawing 0-0 to Torino. Roma and Inter winning their games respectively. Roma beat Udinese 2-0 and Inter beat Lazio 3-0. So they've gone clear at the top on equal points, with Milan just behind, guys. So it's getting really, and Bologna, of course, when getting their points, it's getting really interesting in those European spots. It's going to be a whole good old fight to the end of the season. So it's definitely one to watch, and it's heating up, guys. In terms of the Premier League, Man City, going back to the Premier League, Man City closing in the gap on Liverpool. Sorry, Man City closing the gap on Arsenal down to 4 points, with Arsenal dropping points away to Sunderland again, the same as Spurs in the last second of the game. Man City, I didn't think were amazing, but it was a really round and convincing win against Liverpool. We shall see, man. The things are heating up there as well in terms of the Premier League charge. You know, it's going to be a long old battle. Arsenal looking, regardless of the 2-2 draw, they are looking good in their overall play. Disappointing for them to concede 2 goals in the manner they did, given that they hadn't conceded hardly any goals. But it'd be interesting to see how that, going into returning back from the international duty. Of course, there's a North London derby. We'll have time to get into all of that in the next few videos, no doubt about that. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. Like, comment and subscribe, and as always, forever always, come on you Spurs.